So guys, does a set of all sets contain itself? Yes, it does. Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Jeff again, and I'm back here where I brought the horses to. As you can see, I had to get a bunch of trees because I built something. It's not done, but I now have me some horse stables over here. Check it out. I got all these horses. I've just been breeding these same two horses over and over again. I'm still not quite understanding why you would use either a golden apple or wheat. I don't see the point of using a golden apple whatsoever. Oh look, it's a little black one. The black ones have been much more rare than the other ones, than the brown ones. There's been a lot of brown ones coming around. I can't get out of here. The way I built this ceiling makes it really difficult to get in and out of this area. What am I doing here? Get on my bar. Hey, are you hurting yourself? What are you doing? Is he stuck in the block? Oh, there you go. You probably want to go back in with your... There you go. He wants to stay by the parents. So there we go. But I've got a decent amount of horses coming up. The next mission I want to get a donkey. But I can't do that until I get another saddle, which I am out of. So at some point I'm going to have to go caving again. And it's going to be... There we go. It's going to be... I don't know if I'm going to do it on video. I probably will at some point, but I don't know exactly where to go caving at. It's been, you know, a while since I've gone... Oh yeah, I forgot I brought this ender chest with me. After doing my experiments earlier, I brought an ender chest with me over here. I don't have too much stuff in it, but I do want to put my silk touch pick back in there. I had to go silk touch some grass blocks. I'll put those in here too, actually. I had to silk touch some grass blocks so I could get grass actually growing in there. Do I have iron in here? I believe I do not. I had iron in here at one point. I must have taken it away because I don't have many good tools on me. But what to talk about today? Actually today, what I want to do is I want to talk about the concept of common courtesy. And it's been something that's been on my mind for a little while. I've been running into more and more, I don't know, people lately with a complete and utter lack for such things, and I don't quite understand why. So I'll bring it up as something that it just needs to be discussed. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. So one of my biggest pet peeves, I will say, is smokers, and I don't mean smokers just in general as in smokers. I actually personally have been battling with smoking for quite a while now, but that's beside the point. But it's discourteous smokers is more what it comes down to. Maybe that comes because I have been a smoker in the past, and currently still, I guess still kind of currently. It's like I said, it's a back and forth deal with me. I'm really trying to kick the habit, not quite there yet. But anyways, that's a whole different topic in itself. But it's the discourteous ones, and what I mean by that is one of the biggest pet peeves I have is people who smoke standing next to an ashtray and then throw their cigarette on the ground. I don't understand why people do it. I don't understand what they're thinking when they do, but they will literally be smoking right next to one and throw the butts on the ground. And like I said, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But people do that all the time. But that's the type of thing I'm talking about here, is like the general concept of common courtesy. Like, also at my fire station, a lot of people there are smokers. We will often be outside, especially when we're barbecuing or something like that, and cooking food for the evening. And we'll get, especially on nice nights like they've been lately out here. The last couple weeks have been like, anywhere between 70 and 90 degrees. I don't know why there's such a fluctuation, but it's somewhere between 70 and 90 degrees. So instead of eating inside, when we're done, we'll all sit at the picnic table outside. And we got 2 of them outside, actually. So everybody will sit out there and eat food and relax, and we'll talk, and people bullshit with each other. And we actually sit out there for a good majority of the evening when we're not on calls, when it's those really nice days. I'm going to go take a peek in here. But this thing is really dark. It doesn't look like there's anything that way. It looks like I'm just going to make this collapse if I do that. Yep. And there's nothing down there. I'm actually running this way because there's a village up here. But sometimes what'll happen is we'll get done eating. No, I mean, everybody eats at different times. I mean, I don't mean different times as in like hours and hours apart. I mean, we're all eating at different paces. Some people are doing some things before they get in together and sit down and eat. So nobody's finishing at the exact same time of food, but we'll get done eating and we'll be sitting down there. Or some people get done eating. We'll be sitting down at the table, and one of the people who's done, just sitting right there at the table, directly surrounded by a bunch of other people who are still eating, will just light up a cigarette sitting at the table. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I actually used to have a big problem with that. We'd go out to restaurants back in Michigan, when you can actually still smoke indoors, and a lot of my friends back at home were smokers. And back when you could actually still smoke in indoors, generic. And we'd be in the smoking section, and we'd order some food, or we'd order an appetizer or whatnot. And before everybody was done with their fill, somebody at the table would inevitably just light up their cigarette. Like there's no problem with that other people eating around you is not a big deal. Now, I understand it's the smoking section. Like I said, smoker myself. I have the courtesy enough to wait until other people are done, so I'm not interfering with them. I actually remember going to it was a bar. It was a bar restaurant, but it was mainly a bar. But so there was families in there with kids and things like that. And I remember once we asked for a smoking table, and they literally put us at a table that was directly next to, like, separated by oh, I forgot I had all these trees planted out here. It was directly separated by like a railing, but not a full railing. We were actually in the lower layer. It was funny. The lower layer was the smoking area, and the upper layer was the non-smoking area. And we were at the last table against the railing toward the upper layer. Like we were on the bottom, and right above us, like literally I could have reached over and reached through these bars, if you know what I'm talking about, like the bars that separate like those areas, and I could have touched the people's feet because they were that close. And it was a table, it was a family with like kids and things like that. And the waitress came back over, and it was funny. This was a group of a bunch of us who were courteous people, and there was a bunch of kids at the table. And the waitress came back over, and we looked at her and we said, "Look, can we get a different table? Like we wanted a smoking section, and we don't feel comfortable smoking here." And she's like, "Well, why not? This is the smoking section. This is where it's at." And I'm like, "Yeah, but if I smoke here, all that's happening is I'm blowing the smoke directly into these people's faces who are next to us in the non-smoking section, because they didn't want to be surrounded by that smoke, and they have children there too. We just don't feel comfortable doing that." And she was like, "Actually, that's the only table that we have available right now in the smoking section." So we actually ended up getting up and going up to the bar, and waiting for another table to open up, because we did not feel, like I said, comfortable there. But that was because a group of us who were coincidentally there at the time were what I consider the courteous smokers. It's my bad habit, it's not yours. I'm not out to get you mixed up in what I'm doing, the secondhand smoke and all that stuff. That's not the purpose of it. I understand it's bad. I'm a nurse. I should know better. In my defense, I was smoking before I was a nurse, but that's really not that I didn't think it was a bad thing for me in the first place or things like that. But that's the type of thing I'm talking about, is like the common courtesy with things like that. I mean, it extends a little bit more into walking down the sidewalk. Here, I live in Washington, D.C. We're in an area where it's a very big area for people to wander. People don't drive everywhere. People ride their bikes. People walk. We have a good, sidewalk system and things like that. However, some people still choose to walk on the sidewalk, like a 2-wide sidewalk, in a group of 2 across, and not give way to anybody when they're coming down the other side. They expect you to move out of the way for them, and that is something that I completely missed. That is something that I just completely don't get. No, I think a creeper blew up there. I need some blocks. Let's take some of the sand. That's just something that I completely don't get. I mean, have the decency to move to the side and let other people walk on by. And now, I bring this up because, like I said, I've been having some issues with it lately with, you know, some people in my life, friends, co-workers, things like that, that have just completely, like, lost the concept of it sometimes. And it also comes into the comment world. No, I understand the internet, the land of anonymity. You can say whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, you don't have to be held accountable, blah blah blah, and nobody has to know who you are. Apparently I have this blocked off, but then I have it open right on up on the other side so those villagers can escape. Look at all those furnaces I have in here with not much in them. Did you notice they changed the texture of charcoal? Ooh. I was looking for some straight up cobblestone so I can make another axe, but I do not have one in here. I don't know why I'm wandering around this village. There's really nothing here, but I don't know if I explored it terribly much. Yeah, definitely a creeper because he blew up the church. This is actually a much nicer village than the one I just built the horse stables at. I thought it extended farther. You know, somebody said in the last UHC that bookshelves only existed in the blacksmith, and I thought that they were wrong. But I didn't want to, like, say anything. But yeah, this is definitely not a blacksmith, and there's bookshelves in here, so I thought that they were incorrect. But I mean, I guess it's not that I would have said anything to them during gameplay because they weren't on my team. But I was going to say something just in general and ask the question about it. But I thought this went on because there is it goes on over here. Yeah, see, this is one of those villages. It's very strange. It's very staggered. It's very staggered. There's the blacksmith up here. This one is a good one. This is one of the reasons why I want to extend it on to... Is this still on? He is. This does a pig man. He's probably in the nether though, right? I did have a bed over there. I saw a chest in here. Did I explore it? I did. Do I still have lava over here? I do. I just want to sleep the night away if I potentially can. So there was just villagers in here. I don't know. That's not the right house. I don't know where those villagers are, though. Or that house is with the bed. I guess I really don't need to deal with the house with the bed. I can just go running back because I had no reason of being in here. But what I was saying is, the common courtesy stretches to the internet also. Like I said, the land of anonymity. You can say what you want, do what you want with quote unquote no repercussions. You know, you can be as much of a dick as you want, or you can be the nicest person in the world. Now, I've been previously lucky to have a very, very courteous and kind fan base that I've discussed before. Also partially because I was a lower rated channel than most of the other Mindcrackers and the people who, you know, deal with stuff like that on a regular basis. Now, my channel's been gaining popularity, which is great. I'm very excited about that, but unfortunately with that does come some negativity, and some of it is very confusing because I do get, you know, some random comments here and there that I don't understand the purpose of writing them down. And you know, it was funny, in yesterday's video that I put up, I actually got a comment that really bothers me, not because I'm offended by it, I just, going on the whole concept and conversation regarding, you know, common courtesy, I don't understand the purpose for somebody putting such a thing, which is really funny because they followed it up with another comment about something completely else that was neither courteous nor discourteous, but just like pointing out an observation of the video, which, so it means they continued watching the video, even though the comment is, and I'm sure you're going to know who it is because you can come see it on the video, and this person is going to probably watch this, but what they said was, I got bored to sleep from this video, no offense. It's not a mean comment. I mean, it's not a mean comment as in like somebody, blatantly, making fun of me or blatantly saying, I'm a bad person or something like that. However, what is the purpose of that comment? If you really, I mean, in the video itself, not only did I explain how boring it was, because I was just running back and forth with horses. Where'd that baby horse go? Oh, there he is. No, that's the new baby horse. Where did that baby horse go? Why didn't you switch hands? Lots of stuff. Oh, you know what? I didn't light up the roof of this thing. There's probably so much stuff. This spider just likes to dive bomb. He specifically went back up top just so he could dive bomb on top of me again. I find that kind of funny. Let me... Oh, I'm surprised there's not more stuff out here. Ooh, look at that golden zombie. I think I want to take on that golden zombie. But I don't understand the purpose of making a comment like that. If you really feel that way, stop watching the video if you're that bored. If you are really that bored from it, then why bother to even comment on the fact that you're that bored? Now that is something that's just blatantly discourteous in my opinion, and those are the type of people that I'm talking about when I discuss this. It's because maybe I grew up in a different way, and you know what, I can't really say that because I wasn't always a extremely courteous person either, and I know a lot of people do things not thinking that they're doing something wrong. Like one of the people I was specifically talking about earlier, in regards to cigarette butts standing next to, wow, that was pretty awesome, in regards to like people smoking next to ashtrays and then throwing the cigarette butt right on the ground, like literally next to the ashtray, which really is one of my pet peeves. But this was somebody who's one of the nicest, kindest people that I know, would never do anything to hurt anybody, would always go out of her way to help people out. She didn't realize that she's actually doing something wrong, and why that didn't click in her head, I don't know. But I will also say, back when I was like 18, 19 years old, that was a lot different too. Like I used to do things that I look back on now and I'm like, man, I actually thought I would hold doors for people while smoking a cigarette. Smoke blowing right in their face, and I would think that I'm doing like this nice favor to people because I was holding the door for them. It didn't even cross my mind that it might be offensive to them that I'm sitting, oh yes, he must be in the nether. It didn't even cross my mind that this must be offensive to them in some way, shape, or form. You know, it's, oh, what are you doing? Okay, how about you get in here? Why are you not attacking me? That was kind of weird. You get in here. We'll get you back inside. I think you can fit in a one wide. Why are you taking so much damage? I don't understand. Why are you taking damage? I mean, I kind of get it when I shoved you into here why you would take some damage, but when you were just against the wall, then I'm at a loss. I actually wanted to leave. I had built these pens out here, actually, because I was going to leave them open so that the horses could get in and out of here. And what is wrong with you? Are these horses just dumb? Wait, are the baby horses actually taking damage from the ceiling? Do they look like they're small, but they're actually really big? I'm not sure. I'm afraid to open all of these cages up because I don't want them to get out here and have a creeper coming around and end up blowing them up. But I want them to be able to come roam around like this guy is. Hey, buddy. Here you go. Oops. No, I just wanted to give you some wheat. Can I not just give you wheat anymore? Oh, I guess not. I keep taking the wheat. Oh, I can't like that, but there you go. You can have some wheat. be all happy. Now, I think actually too, let me go try something here. I think, you know, I'd only put those up actually so the horses can't get out, but the horses can't get out a one wide gap. If I ride you guys, can I breed you guys even though you're not saddled? Oops, I need to get this on. I don't know if this horse likes me or not. I gave him some wheat, so he should like me soon enough. But no offense to you, buddy. Whoever wrote me that comment, I'm not going to say the name, but there's no place for that. I don't like the just blatant lack of regard for other people and their thought process. Like that, those are the types of comments that they upset me, not because like I said, not because I'm personally offended by it or anything like that. I'm just offended by people who take the time to do that. They're very much people that I don't really like to associate myself with. So I hope there's a misunderstanding in there, and I hope that that's not. See, I can make you get all hot and bothered. Now, even though you don't have saddles, you guys have the hearts. Will they not mate, though, unless they're saddled? Or is it because they're related? I don't... Oh, well, I don't get the horse mechanics completely. I'll get it figured out. Oh, I forgot a piece of glass over here. Creeper could easily come blow up this window at any time. Let me get in here and fix that. But as I said, you know, I've not been the most, you know, in my life doing things that I thought I was being kind at, and it turns out that I was not at all, looking back on it now and realizing. So hopefully I'm taking some of these things to an extreme that they shouldn't be taken to. But I know for a fact on some of the examples that I gave is people just accidentally doing something they didn't realize, and I know for a fact on other ones that it's people just being not caring at all about what other people think, that they're just gonna kind of be their own person. And I don't mean that in a good way as in like their own identity. I mean they're just gonna do what they want to do and don't really care who they hurt in the process. And I mean, I deal with people like that at work on a daily basis, and that's a whole different ballgame because it's really difficult, because when you get into the work realm, it then becomes almost self-preservation type of deal, because a lot of the people that you deal with that are like that in the professional role are, I think a lot of it comes down to being, oh, I forgot to replant this wheat, being worried about their job. Like one of those things where they treat somebody else poorly, kind of like my assistant director right now. He treats me poorly a lot, but I think it's because he feels threatened by me, because he knows that I have more skills than he does in relation to nursing and nursing informatics. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn and say that I'm better than, you know, than him, just be, you know, because I'm just that much better, but it's because I'm been educated more than he has. I've been doing it for longer with both the bedside experience and the technical expertise. And I mean, leadership and upper management has seen that, but I think part of his issue is that he feels threatened because he knows that leadership and upper management look to me for more of those things. So that's a completely different kind of discourtesy, because it's more, like I said, self-preservation as opposed to just genuinely being a bad person. I'm not saying it's right either. And I'm not saying that every professional issue is like that, because a lot of the nurses I worked with on the floor actually were just very rude individuals in general, and that drives me nuts too. But I think you guys understand what I'm talking about, and that's it. I just kind of wanted to make a video to kind of get some things like that off my chest, and I wasn't going to, like, I like to rant in my videos. This is something that I personally take to heart as something that like is one of those things that can really get under my skin, that can really upset me, is just knowing that people kind of go out of their way to make other people feel, to try to make other people feel bad. And by the way, no, I don't feel bad at all about that video that I made. I told you straight up in the beginning it was going to be boring. I knew it was boring, but I also knew you guys, a handful of you guys would have wanted to see it. So I'm not going to deprive the people who I know wanted to see that, because a lot of people were asking me, how are you going to get those horses home? It's not going to be a fun process, but I'm going to get them there. And a lot of you would have been very upset had I just kind of been like, look, I'm back at the base, I got the horses there. Take a guess at how, and then just moved on with life. I'm not going to deprive you guys of it just because it happens to not be the most exciting footage, especially when I say that up front. So you know what? You can feel free to continue commenting like that. I'm just not going to acknowledge you. You can also feel free to just keep your opinion to yourself and think whatever you want. You can also feel free to just stop watching. Those choices all exist to you. I guess in theory, if you really want to get out that way too, I can choose to not read comments or turn comments off if I really want to too. So keep that in mind, because that might happen someday. I've actually turned comments off of some of my videos before because, not usually against me, but arguments got a little too heated against other people, and people started arguing about things that I did not appreciate, the type of language and things like that that was being used against others. And so I've turned comments off of those videos. So I definitely can always reserve the right to do that, and I may do that if I feel it's something that needs to be done. I mean, I'm not going to do it based on one comment or anything like that. It really pushed some of my buttons just reading things like that, especially dealing with other things that I've been, like I said, that I've dealt with in the past few weeks related to, friends, colleagues, things like that, general people walking down the street, when they block the pathway because they just have no common respect for other people. So anyways, I wish those things opened all at once. I guess it becomes one wide, huh? Yeah, I think it does. Well, I wonder if I do that then, can I, this is obviously off. Oops. Can I just do this? Make a big 4 wide gate. This isn't gonna look right, but this gonna be able, I think I can just, oh yeah, I can just walk right across this thing. Let me see if I leave this open, if these horses will actually come back inside. I was thinking about hooking this up to a day-night sensor, opening up during the day and closing at night, and then I realized that I would never know if they were actually inside or outside, so I would probably just trap them either way. So let's see if I can ride him. Oh yeah, he rides right on through there. Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize there was gates linked up like that. Interesting. That is definitely interesting, right, horse? And you are in the mood again. Do you guys not see each other? Are you sick of each other? You think that's why? You think those guys were separated by too much? They were looking at each other, right? Let's try that again. Sorry, and then I promise I will. I'm in the wrong stall. Can I just rip all of you out? Oh yeah, that is what it is. He couldn't get through. That means I can go breed all of these horses. Huh. I had no idea. But anyways, I'm not going to waste your guys' time with me aimlessly breeding these horses. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you understand what I'm saying, and I will see you guys next time. By the way, guys, before I leave, this is the last horse that I bred between my 2 saddled guys, and look at that. he's a completely different one. I know there's a chance that that can happen, but it's pretty cool. Got a different horsey. I wonder if he's a really fancy one. Okay, see you guys.